Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is a live recording of a 50-minute full body flexibility practice. I just used my bolster today for props, but find a little bit of space to move and let's get started. I'm just going to use my bolster, as I just mentioned, for props, and we are going to start laying down. So if you do want to lay on top of something, feel free to do so. But find your way to a comfy-ish place. And maybe our arms today. You might bring your hands behind your head if you'd like, or at your sides. But maybe you'll just interlace your fingers and use your hands as a little pillow. Your thumbs might be lightly touching kind of the upper side of your neck, and you could even just gently press your thumbs. Give yourself a little massage as you let your elbows fall out to the side. And maybe feeling your chest, your shoulders. But also placing your legs where you want them to be too. So if you want to get into your hips while we're here, you might make a diamond shape with your legs. But whatever is comfortable. If your eyes are still open, you might be closing them. And let's just breathe nice and slow. And gentle. Just allow your day to slow down. If you need to move around or adjust at all, feel free to do so. If you're happy with where you are, maybe you can start to find some stillness. We are going to stay here just a bit longer. If you have your hands behind your head, you might take them out and actually move your arms back to your sides, and you might tuck your hands underneath your hips or glutes. Maybe your palms can face down. And if you're laying on top of something, see if you can snug your elbows in a little bit too. And just optional to do this. Just see how your shoulders and your chest feel, also your hips. And then maybe you'll even try to turn your palms to face up and still tuck your hands underneath your hips, the elbows snug. Be a little different with the palms up. And just take another moment here. If you do have your legs in a diamond shape, you might bring your knees back together and still be sitting on your hands. But then we are going to take our hands out. So if you did tuck them under you, you can move them out, off to the sides, wherever's nice and effortless. You can bring your feet to the ground and bend the knees if you haven't already. You might take a gentle sway of your knees side to side while you're still laying on your pillow. But then we will take whatever's under you. If you are laying on something, you can take it out and move it off to the side and come back down so that you're just nice and flat on your back. You can hug your knees to your chest. Maybe take a rock or a sway side to side. Massaging your back against the ground. Now, if you do have your feet lifted up right now, we're going to bring them back to the ground. So keeping the knees bent and the feet planted, we're going to bring the left knee towards the chest a bit and then let it fall out to the side. Now, we're not going to be reaching for our foot. We're just going to let the knee or the whole leg kind of tip out to the left side. So you might only hold on to it with your left hand. Let your ankle just relax. Maybe it's the same height as the knee, kind of. And then with our right foot on the ground right now, the knee pointing up, you can keep your leg there, or you can see if it will tip out to the side a little bit. It might not go very far. You might pivot on your foot a little so that you're on the outside edge maybe of that right foot, but just trying to make a half diamond with the right leg and then letting the left leg just kind of tip out to the side a little bit. And then whether you've got both knees kind of off to the sides or just one, we're going to slowly bring everything back through center, both of our legs. And your left foot can come to the ground too, so that both of your feet are just planted again. You might take a little sway of the knees side to side. And then the right knee can come a little closer to the chest. And then let it tip out to the side. So the foot's lifted, but it's not going really high like happy baby. Just let that leg open up. Let your ankle relax. Maybe the left knee will tip out to the side too. So the left foot's on the ground, but the right one would be lifted. Take just another breath here, and then we can help our legs, our knees kind of come back through center. And your right foot can come to the ground too. And then maybe you'll sway your knees side to side a few times. You feel free to hug your knees to your chest if you want. We are going to be coming all the way up and over to tabletop. So you can either roll to the side or rock yourself forwards. But we're going to come all the way up and over onto our hands and onto our knees. You can spread your fingers wide once you get there. Maybe give your hips a little sway side to side. And then just take an inhale to drop your belly down a bit and lift your chest and maybe your chin. And as you exhale, you can lift your belly button up and round your spine. Tuck your chin in. And then just inhaling back to a nice long spine. So we're going to reach our right arm out in front. And then move it towards the left side a little bit. So let your shoulders just stay in the middle of the mat. Just your arm is moving over towards the left, or your hand is moving over towards the left a little bit. So we're just trying to cross our arm under us a touch, but it's reaching forward, so it's kind of straight. And then we're going to lower our shoulders, our chest down. We're going to try to keep our shoulders level with one another and centered in the mat. And you can let your upper body go as low as it wants to go. You might end up resting your head on your arm. Maybe don't go quite that far. Stay for another breath. And as you inhale, you can start to lift, maybe pushing into your left hand a little bit. Moving your right hand back in. Maybe you're right back into your tabletop. Take a sway of the hips if you'd like, maybe even the shoulders. And then just trying to keep our upper body in the middle. It's not moving much. It's just that left arm now that's going to reach forwards. And then move your hand over towards the right a little bit. Nothing else is moving. You can slowly lower. Keeping the length of the arm. Trying to keep the shoulders level. And then just coming down as low as the chest wants to go. And if you are looking towards that left hand, maybe you can look down. Maybe you can rest your forehead on your arm. And let your chest get a little heavier and a little heavier. Taking another breath or two. And using an inhale to help you lift all the way back up to tabletop. Maybe a sway of the hips, maybe a sway of the shoulders. Then we're going to lay down on our tummies so you can start to lower. Lay down. Maybe stacking your palms, rest your forehead on top. Maybe even sway your hips side to side. We'll be taking our right arm and bringing it out to the side. We'll do a nice straight arm today, with our hand in line with our shoulder and the palm facing down. And then maybe you will tip over onto your right side. And maybe your left leg, your top leg, will go a little bit further behind you. Turning your hips a little bit more. Letting your head stay on the ground. You might be feeling your arm and shoulder. You might also be feeling your back, your spine, depending on how much your legs are moving, your hips are turning. So I want you just to notice where your legs are right now, how much you have turned your hips. Just notice the lower half of your body. And then we're going to try to come back over. Well, we're going to come all the way back over onto our tummies and just move our arms straight out in front of us, both of them. And then we're going to try to turn our lower body, our legs, just like they were. But you can reach both arms in front. Maybe the palms are facing down. And then just move your legs, press into your feet to help you turn again. Or maybe that left leg can get up and over and behind you a little bit. And just trying to turn. But the left arm, it might lift on you. See if you can keep your hand down and maybe even walk your fingertips away. Maybe feeling a bit more of a pull through the side body. And you can take just another breath here. And then tip yourself slowly back over onto your belly again. And you can stack your palms, rest your forehead on top. And maybe give your hips a little bit of a sway, side to side. And then we'll switch to our left arm. So out to the side to start. Maybe in line with your shoulder, palm facing down. So tipping over any amount if you'd like onto the left side. Maybe just thinking a little bit more about your legs if that right leg wants to move. Maybe behind you a little bit more. Try to let your head stay on the ground. Let the hips turn. Just finding that sweet spot where your shoulder is happy. Your elbow, your wrist. So noticing again where your legs kind of are right now, where you might try to get back to when we move our arms. But you can find your way onto your belly again. And then just reaching both the arms straight in front. Maybe your palms can stay down, but of course your arms might move a little bit. Use your feet, your legs to try to tip yourself or your lower body anyway back over. Let the right leg move. And when the hand starts to lift on you, maybe you can press it down. Maybe walk the fingertips away. Nice and weird, but also so good. Maybe just another breath or two here. And if you can use your right leg to help tip you back over all the way onto your belly. And then you can stack your palms again. Rest your forehead. Maybe give your hips a sway side to side. When you're ready to come back up to tabletop, you can bring your hands by your shoulders, push yourself up, and come back onto your knees. So we're going to try to sit back on our heels, so resting on the top of our feet. Few options. You might be leaning forwards, taking some weight into the hands. You might sit tall, lifting the hands up. You might even lean back and try to lift the knees. And if you just happen to have a pillow that you could tuck underneath your knees so you don't have to hold your knees up. You still might be tempted to lean forwards a little bit, but if you're going to prop the knees up on something, see if you can lean back slightly or at least sit tall. Just to feel the top of the feet, the ankles, maybe up into the shins. If you're lucky, you can have your hands behind you or in your lap. But we won't stay here that long. Maybe try to wiggle your toes once or twice. And if you feel like you just got your knees propped up on your pillow and you want to stay a little bit longer, you can, or you can slowly start to make your way back and sliding your pillow out if you're using one. Come back to tabletop though. So come off of your heels. Maybe give the ankles just a little shake. And then we're going to sit down, but bring our legs in front of us. And you can give your knees a hug or a squeeze if you'd like. Now we're going to be sending our right leg out long. And we'll start with the left foot on the inner thigh. If you have a strap to use, you can use your strap on your foot. But just bring some length into that right leg, some length into your spine. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you can lean forwards a bit. Now, if you're leaning forwards right now, you can use an inhale to lift. And we might try to move our left foot towards the top of the leg, but kind of the inner thigh. So if you can rest the outer edge of your foot kind of on the inside of your leg, maybe you can see the bottom of your foot and just stretch the outside of the ankle a little bit. So you can bring your foot anywhere on top of the leg and then just kind of let it slide down the middle kind of. Make sure your knee is happy with this position. If not, just bring your foot back towards your inner thigh on the ground. If you want a little extra, you might tip your chest forwards, but maybe you're just going to sit nice and tall for this ankle stretch. And then again, not here long, so you can start to lift up and take your foot off your leg and just bring your legs together. Give them a squeeze. And we'll send our left leg out long. Right foot to the inner thigh, to the ground, to the inner thigh. Adding your strap if you want to, or pointing your toes up, but taking an inhale to lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, you can fold if you'd like to fold. Feeling your hamstring, your calf. So if you want to skip the ankle stretch, you could just stay in your forward fold. And if you want to lift on up, you can do that too. And if we can bring that right foot just on top of the leg a little bit, trying to stretch the outer ankle and foot. So you can try to bring your foot on top of the leg a little and then let it kind of slide down the middle maybe, just a bit. As long as your knee is happy. Should you go for a little extra? Maybe you're leaning forwards a bit, but maybe not. Wherever you happen to be, you can take another breath or two. And then you can take your foot off your leg. Bring your knees back together. Rock it out. Let it go. We're coming back over to tabletop though. So going into our shoulders again. Now, I'm not going to use my pillow here. You can bring your pillow under your chest in a moment if you decide. We're going to try our puppy dog stretch. We'll start with our palms facing down. You might spread your fingers nice and wide, reaching them forwards, and then letting your chest melt down. And if your chest doesn't want to come very close to the ground, you might sneak your pillow underneath. And maybe your forehead can touch down. Feeling the length of your arms and getting into your shoulder. take another breath here. And then we might lift up just to adjust our hands. You can come all the way to tabletop if you want a nice break, but maybe you're still reaching out. I might encourage you to come down onto your forearms though, to try to lift the palms up. So your thumbs pointing out to the sides. And then if you find that your elbows are underneath your shoulders, maybe you scooch them forwards a little bit. Little tricky to keep the palms facing up. So you can try to let your chest get heavy. If it feels better just to touch your hands together, your palms can come together. They can hold each other in place. Or you can try to bring some space between your hands and try to let your palms face up. At the same time, just letting your forehead come down, your chest, still filling your shoulders, but maybe a little differently. So taking another breath or two. If you have your palms facing up right now, you're trying to have them face up. Just start to relax your hands. Maybe the palms come together as you lift your chest all the way back up. You can climb to your hands. You can take a moment in tabletop, but if you want to find child's pose to take all of the weight out of your arms, you can do that too. You can have the knees wide or together, and maybe your arms can come to your sides. And if you lean forwards, if you want your pillow to go under your forehead, so you can really take all the weight out of your arms. Your palms might be facing up. Letting your shoulders be nice and heavy. And just take a moment to notice the sensations flowing through all the way from your fingertips to your shoulder. Taking another moment here, you might wiggle your fingers a few times. And then you can move your hands closer to your shoulders again, and you can press up. Lift your forehead, lift your chest. If you've got a pillow on your mat, you might just move it off to the side again. We'll take a seat with our legs back out in front of us. Just for a hug or squeeze with the knees, because we're going to lay down again. So you can find your way onto your back. When you're ready, lay flat on your back. You can bend your knees and plant your feet. Let's take our left foot and place it on top of the right quad. Figure 4. You can lift your right foot up into the air or leave it on the ground. Just feeling your left leg, glute. If you've got your right foot in the air, just start to bring it back down. And you can uncross your legs, sway your knees side to side, and then switch, bringing your right foot on top of the left quad. And maybe lifting the left foot up into the air. And how does your right leg feel, your glutes, your hip? If your left foot is in the air, you can start to lower it down again and uncross your legs, swaying your knees side to side. And then tip both of your legs over to the left side. Turn your hips, find a twist. Maybe with the feet out to the side a little further too. But you can adjust your shoulders, reach your arms wide. Just notice your belly moving. Moving up, moving down. Take just another breath on this side. You can use an inhale to help you lift your legs up, maybe sliding the feet back in. Come out of your twist and maybe sway your knees side to side just a few times. You can tip your legs over towards the right and then maybe sliding the feet out a little further too. But adjust your shoulders. Find your twist. Breathe just a little bit deeper. Encouraging your belly to move a little bit more. Staying for another full breath. And using an inhale to move your legs back up. Recenter yourself on your mat, maybe swaying your knees side to side. You could hug your knees into your chest if you wanted to. For Shavasana today though, if you want your pillow to be under your legs in any way, maybe under your knees, maybe under your calves so your feet are floating. But just take your time and then you can find your way to your comfortable place. Where you can relax your entire body. Just you and your breath. You can slowly start to move. Maybe take a deeper breath in and out. Maybe reaching your arms up and above your head for a stretch. You can bend your knees. And roll all the way over. Finding your way up to a comfy seat. Whenever you're ready, you can bring your hands together if you'd like. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great weekend, and we will see you all next week. Namaste.